After the great battle between the ancient dragon army and the dragons of destruction, the world fell into silence. The sky, once black and filled with cracks, turned a clear blue, and the kingdoms that had suffered ruin began to slowly restore life. The dragons, symbols of power and wisdom, were free once more, yet they realized their presence in the world caused unending upheaval. Liara stood beside her loyal dragon, Zeeron, on the peak of a towering mountain, as the great dragon leaders gathered around her. Everyone knew that it was time to make a grand decision. Dragmore, the oldest and strongest of the dragons, spoke. Dragons have returned to aid the world in its moment of weakness. Yet our strength continually draws darkness, and the world will not find peace as long as we remain here. Liara looked at Zeeron, who remained silent, carrying a mixture of sorrow and acceptance in his eyes. The dragons decided to return to their original homeland, the Dragon Realm, a distant place beyond the time gate closed centuries ago. The magical crystal that Liara carried was the only key to open the gate and send the dragons to their eternal home. Zeeron said, "Liara, your destiny lies here among the humans. You are not just the bearer of royal blood, but a symbol of hope for them. You will continue building a new world while we vanish into the memory of legends." Liara couldn't hold back her tears, yet she knew this was the best choice for the world. People gathered from all over the kingdoms to watch the dragons preparing for departure. The sky was filled with the vivid colors of the glowing dragon wings. Liara gave a speech to everyone, saying, "Dragons have always been a symbol of strength and wisdom, yet they have chosen to leave to give us a chance for peace. We will never forget them. They will always remain part of our myths and hearts." Liara stood by the magical gate and used the crystal to reopen it. As the dragons began to cross, the ground shook as if bidding farewell to these magnificent creatures. Liara's farewell to Zeeron was the hardest. He said to her, "You are stronger than you think. The world is now in your hands. Take good care of it." Then Zeeron flew through the gate, his last look filled with love and gratitude for his human companion. With the disappearance of the dragons, the world entered a new era. Liara worked to unite the kingdoms and rebuild the villages destroyed by war. She became a symbol of strength and leadership, and the legend of the dragons continued as a tale told to new generations. People always looked to the sky, wondering if the dragons would ever return one day. But Liara knew the truth. The dragons now lay in peace, which is what they always wanted. Years passed, and Liara grew older, yet the memories of her adventures with Zeeron remained. On a quiet night, as she sat beside her fireplace, she heard a faint voice in her mind, resembling Zeeron's. "We are always here, in your heart and in the stories of the world." Liara smiled, knowing that though the dragons had departed, they would never be forgotten. And so, ended the era of dragons and began the era of humans. The dragons became part of the tales and myths, narrated as symbols of wisdom and strength. Although the world became more realistic, people never lost hope that there's always magic hiding in the far corners of life.